Hi everyone and welcome back, and if you're new here, I am Prakriti and this is part 2 of Makeup Brushes Guide for Beginners. So in today's video, I am going to talk about my favorite eye makeup brushes. This video again is going to be lengthy because I am going to create this eye makeup look and talk about all my favorite eye makeup brushes. So definitely I have left timestamps in the description box in case you guys want to skip to a certain part of the video. And that's it. Let's create this eye look. The first brush that I have with me is from Plume. This is their P18 brush. This is something with which you can stamp the eyeshadow base on your eyes, and you can also carve out your eyebrows because it is super precise. You don't have to apply too much. Just the amount that covers all the veins and pigmentation and everything and makes your eyelids very even. Another reason why I like using a brush instead of my fingers, because you can really go in the corners, like the inner corner, outer corner, and get an even application. If you don't want a super precise application, you can also use a concealer brush like this one. This is the PAC 218, and just blend the eyeshadow base. Next, you have to set that eyeshadow base in place before you apply any eyeshadow on top, because if you just go in directly with the eyeshadow, it's going to be patchy, it's going to be difficult to blend it out. And for that, you can use your normal compact powder, and the brush that I am going to use is the Wet n Wild P20 brush. You can also use it for applying your transition shade. So what I'll do is I'll just dip the brush in and just tap out the excess. First, I'm going to apply very little bit all over my eyelids. Then once that's done, a single layer of powder, I'm just going to take a little bit more, again going into my inner corner and then brow bone, a little bit on my outer corner as well. The PAC 218 concealer brush can also be used for applying powder, and you can use the PAC 245 powder brush, so you can just apply the powder all over your eyelid with this very easily. If you don't have time to go in like separate areas, you can use these brushes. Now let's get into eyeshadows, and the first shade will be a transition shade. So for today's video, I am going to use these eyeshadow palettes. First is this NYX Ultimate Edit Petite eyeshadow palette, and this one is in the shade Warm Neutrals, and this is the second palette that I will be using, the Delora Jones Molten Bronze palette. This is a really good transition shade to blend everything in and to soften everything out. So first of all, I am just going to pick this shade on my brush. It was very difficult to pick these three brushes. These three are my favorite and I use them the most. So the first one is from PAC. This is their 393 brush. I just love this brush. This has got natural brush hair. I also have a couple of brushes with synthetic brush hair. First one is the Plume P07 brush. It's a little bit more to the stiff side, so I really like it for blending, but if you're using this brush, make sure that you're using the least amount of pressure. And then next is the Cuffs and Lashes E005 brush. This is very soft. I really like this brush and it can blend your eyeshadow really nicely. So these are the three blending brushes that I have. The PAC one is clean right now, so I'm just going to use this one. I am just going to take my brush. I'm also applying a little bit to the sides of the brush. Then obviously you have to tap off the excess. And then you have to hold your brush at the bottom, I'd say, and if you don't like holding it at the bottom, you can hold it a little bit above that. First, I like to go in with the windshield wiper motions, and then I also do like these circular motions on the inner corner because I like connecting my nose contour to my eyeshadow. It's just like a wash of color, and we are going to use this shade later to blend out any like patchiness. If you want to smoke out something, like you really want to take it in this area and just blend it out and make it look like a foxy eye, you can buy these brushes. Next, we are going to focus some color into our crease. And if you have hooded eyes, you should probably start with these brushes that I'm going to show you right now. I have got three brushes over here. My favorite again is from PAC. This is the PAC 374 brush. You can see it's sort of dome shaped from the top, and then ultimately something that's even more soft is the Pro Art AE25 brush. These brushes are all flat, so you can focus the color into your crease. So today I am going to use the Pro Art AE25 brush to apply my second shade. I left this one in the water for too long too, just like my PAC foundation brush. So this is also not really pretty to look at. So I am going to pick up the shade Umber from the Molten Bronze palette. And to pick up the shade, you have to make sure that you're picking it up on the tip and gently tap off some product because you don't want all of that. So you have to go straight into the crease. You don't have to keep your brush at any angle. Just look down and your mirror should be below your chin, I'd say. Once you're done, just take the transition brush with which you apply the transition and just blend everything out once so that it's clean. So next we are going to use a black shade. A black shade is something that I always carry with me because I like that depth. It doesn't have to be a smoky eye every time, you know. Even if you want a little bit of depth into your crease, you can just apply some black and you'll get that. So for the black, I use the black shade from the Tammy Into Revolution Tropical Carnival palette, and the brush that I like using for the black will be this Pack 374 brush, which is super focused. So what I'll do is I just pick up some black on the tip of the brush, just tap off the excess. I'll just mark it and very gently. Then I'll take the Pro Art AE25 brush and just blend it out. So I just applied some black on my outer corner, and then for blending that out I'm using the circular motion, and I'm also using the Pro Art AE25 brush. Now we are gonna go to the lower lash line and just mark out that shape. For lower lash line I've got two brushes with me over here. The first one is again from Pack. So this is the Pack 102 brush. You can definitely use it on your lower lash line. It's just like the Pack 374 brush, but this one is smaller, so I like using it for my lower lash line. I have super small eyes. Now another really good brush that I love using on my lower lash line is the Plume P24 brush. This is very soft and very fluffy, and it blends the eyeshadow really nicely. It fits really nicely in that socket, so that's why I love this Plume P24 brush. I am going to pick up the shade Umber, which is this one, the one that I applied into my crease. Just start from here. I am going to take the Pack 102 brush again, and I'm going to pick up the black. Today I'll not do the cut crease because I'm more into like blending and all of that stuff, but I want to give you an option if you want to do cut crease. The Plume P11 brush, this is super thin and it's curved, perfect for cutting your crease using a concealer. Pick up the metallic shade, and if you don't want fallout, in case you've already done your base makeup like I have, you can use a setting spray to wet this brush, which I've already done. The brush that I like using for these type of shades is the Cuffs and Lashes E003 brush. So you pick up the metallic shade, you want that pigment, start stamping it. If you want, you can leave it to this, but I want a little bit of extra, you know, shine and a little bit of gold. So for that I am going to get to my Delora Jones palette, and I'm going to use the shade which is literally called bronze. It's better if you use it with fingers. So first I'm going to go in with my finger and just again stamping this thing. And then I am going to take my Pro Art AE25 brush to blend this in a bit. Don't want to blend it a lot. So next we have the inner corner and the brow bone. For inner corner, I like using the Pro Art P29 brush. This is a pencil sort of brush. You can also use it for smudging, definitely. It works really well for your inner corner. I'm gonna pick up the shade Karma and I'm just gonna press it into my inner corner. Pick up the same shade and apply it on my brow bone. And the brush that I'm using, this is such a cute and small fan brush. This is from Cuffs and Lashes and it's their E001 brush. I really like this one for my brow bone because it sits perfectly on my brow bone, as you can see. It's perfect for that area. Such a cute brush. Most of the times I like to go with a smudged eyeliner for this look, like I've already done on this side. As you can see, I'll not create like a proper wing because my eyeshadow is already a wing. For that, I like using the Plume P15 eyeliner brush, and first I'll just go in with a gel eyeliner. This is the Maybelline Eye Studio Lasting Drama Gel Eyeliner in 01 Black. I don't want the eyeliner to cover everything up. I just hate that. I know that I've highlighted it, but I also like to sort of define it. So once my eyeliner is there, I'll just take my eyeliner brush and go into the black eyeshadow. And with this, I'm gonna smudge out. I'm also going with the same black on my lower lash line. Just a super fine line on my lower lash line. So that's it for the eye. Those are all the brushes I use. Now I'm gonna curl my eyelashes, apply some mascara, and do my lips, and I'll be back. That's it for the video. This is the completed look. Now I picked 6 of my favorite brushes from all the makeup brushes that I have. I'm gonna talk about them. So these are basically the only 6 brushes that you will need if you are a beginner. First one is the Plume P11 brush. This is a stamping brush and you can use it for applying metallic eyeshadow, and you can also use this one for applying eyeshadow base. Next we have a blending brush. This is the PAC 393 blending brush and I love this a lot. You can use it for applying your transition, for blending everything out. This is basically a very handy brush that you should have. Then I have an eyeliner brush. This is the Plume P15 eyeliner brush. It's actually an eyebrow brush, but it can't be used for doing like the precise hair-like strokes because it's not thin enough, but it can be used for applying your eyeliner and smudging it out to some extent. Then I have this pencil sort of smudger brush. This is the Pro Art PE29 brush. Again, a really good brush for smudging out the kohl in your lower lash line. You can also use this for applying highlighter in the inner corner and the brow bone. Now number 5, I have a brush for hooded eyes. This is the PAC 374 brush. It's dense, it's kind of stiff, so you can also use it for smudging anything out. If you want to do a smoky eye, this is a really good brush. Ultimately, I have a brush that you can use to blend eyeshadow in your crease. This is the Pro Art AE25 brush. You can get more precise sort of blending with this brush. It's very soft, so you can just go in your crease with this brush, and if you want to blend any eyeshadow, especially for me, I have partially hooded eyes, so I really like defining and sort of recreating the crease, so I really like this brush for doing that. And that's it. These are the 6 brushes that you can have. You can definitely have the others that I mentioned in this video, but these are the only 6 brushes that you will need if you are a beginner. And that's it for the video. Do give it a thumbs up if it was helpful, and yes, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.